And Mark Teixeira joins us now. Mark, it's Michael and Don. Congratulations. How you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me.
Do you know it's been since 2010 that you won an American League Player of the Week award? It's been a little too long, Mark.
There you go. Turn back the clock.
Did you have any doubt coming into this season? The last 2 years, I'm sure, were disappointing for you because of the injuries that set you back. Did you have any doubt that it was still there?
You know, I mean, I think always in the back of your mind, whenever you have a surgery, you always want to make sure that it's completely behind you. And obviously, it wasn't completely behind me last year. So, going into this spring training, I was much more confident that that it was healed and it was strong. So, I would say it was way in the back of my mind this spring training. Whereas last spring training, I knew going into it that it was going to be a struggle, and I had to deal with it.
Now, you've had a history of slower Aprils, so is that focus maybe the difference why you've been so good this month?
I don't know. I mean, you can never put your finger on it. You know, sometimes you just get lucky, and for some reason this April it's been a little bit quicker for me to get going, and I think the health obviously has a lot to do with it. Just feeling strong and really feeling confident up there that I could take my A swing and really go after pitches the way I used to.
333, 5 home runs, and 10 ribbies last week, which got Mark the Player of the Week award. Now, all the good stuff. I'm watching the game on TV yesterday because it was on ESPN, Mark. I've never seen such a hellacious hop as the one that Daniel Murphy hit at you. I mean, do you get scared in a moment like that?
Yeah, you know what? You get a couple of those a year, maybe one or two a year, that your life literally flashes before your eyes. And that one, I just kind of got my head out of the way just quick enough. But that's baseball. I mean, it happens at at the corners. You're going to get line drives that just skip up and take crazy hops and go at your head, and you just try to get out of the way of them.
Now, I don't know how much you guys as a team paid attention to the critics and the analysts who thought that maybe this was not going to be a great year. You get off to a slow start as a team. Was there any doubt that creeped into that locker room as you prepared for that run that you guys went on, that maybe they're right? Maybe we aren't going to be the team we thought?
No, not at all. I mean, I think unlike fans, we don't live and die with every single game. If you did that, I've said this many times, if position players especially lived and died with every single game, you'd be burnt out by the beginning of May. Mm-hmm. So, when we don't play well, we figure out, okay, you know what, we didn't play good defense this game, or didn't hit with runners in scoring position, whatever it might be, and you move on to the next day and say we're going to be better tomorrow. And so when you have that attitude as a position player and just grinding it out every single day, you understand that you're going to have ups and downs, and if you start 1-4 or whatever we started, 3-6, the first 2 weeks of the season, you realize that you just have to execute better, and that's what we've done the last few weeks.
Mark, I'll tell you what, you've always been very, very supportive of your teammate Alex Rodriguez, so I don't think that support has ever waned. But are you surprised that he has been this productive after essentially playing 40 games in the last 2 years?
I'm not surprised, and the reason I'm not surprised is because Alex is DHing. And anybody who has played a really long time, 15-plus years, almost 20 years now for Alex, playing third base, shortstop, very demanding positions, that's really tough on your body. And, if Alex would have been a full-time DH 4 or 5 years ago, he might have never had the physical issues that he has now. So, I talked to him this offseason. He said he was feeling great. I saw him in spring training, and I looked at his swing, looked at his body, and then I said, man, if you're a full-time DH, Al, you can have an unbelievable season. You can go back to being the Alex that we all know and love. And I think that's what you're seeing the first 3 weeks of the year.
Do you see a different personality, a different demeanor with this Alex than the one that was prior to being suspended?
Well, he's having a lot of fun, I'll tell you that. And when you're playing good baseball as a team and individually, this game's fun. I mean, when you're losing or when you're struggling, when you're hurt, this is a brutal game, as we all know. So I think Alex is having a good time right now, and maybe in the past, but before the suspension and going through the surgeries and just having a rough go of it physically, it's just not as much fun playing the game.
Mark, how good is that bullpen that you guys have?
Man, when you can shorten up a game the way we have, the way Dellin and Andrew have been pitching, along with the other guys. I mean, guys that I didn't really know much because they were spending time in the National League, guys like Chris Martin and some of the other guys that we've brought on this year. Those guys have really good arms, And when you have to face a guy throwing 95 plus with a dirty slider, left right, coming back and forth at you, that's tough on an opposing team. And we've seen how good our bullpen can be.
Mark, we talked a lot about the shift and how it's changed Major League Baseball. You face the shift as much as anybody. How difficult is it to hit the other way and take advantage of the shift?
Well, I told you guys multiple times, I said it over the last few years, that the way to beat the shift is hit more home runs, doubles, and walk more. And that's what I've done this year. I don't think I've had one ball into the shift this year that's taken away a hit. And I'm not trying to hit ground balls. I never try to hit ground balls. So the best thing an opposing team can do to a power hitter is try to make them slap the ball the other way. Because now you take what is, there's very few power hitters in the game anymore, and now you're taking that guy out of the lineup and making him a slap singles hitter. So I've never tried to do that. I've always tried to have good at-bats, drive the ball, hit doubles, hit home runs. And when you're doing that, you're going to walk more. So that's the way to beat the shift.